Marshawn Lloyd is becoming a larger and larger part of the conversation in Green Bay. As the Packers continue to search for answers in a running back room, that feels more fragile by the day. And as the pressure on this offense intensifies, the questions begin to circle like cold wind around Lambeau Field, and every voice in the building seems to be wondering the same thing about why this situation keeps slipping out of control. The frustration starts with the expectations that were placed on this offense months ago when Brian Gutekunst invested heavily in pieces meant to turn this group into a powerful balanced machine. And yet here the Packers are still searching for stability, still searching for rhythm, still searching for a running game that does not collapse under the weight of injuries and uncertainty, and at the center of that search stands the absence of Marshawn Lloyd. Josh Jacobs has been unavailable, and his absence has been felt with a weight that grows heavier each week, but at least there is a sense that he will return sooner rather than later. And there is hope that maybe he can make it back for the showdown with the Minnesota Vikings at Lambeau Field. And if not, then possibly the Thanksgiving game against the Detroit Lions at Ford Field. And that glimmer of possibility at least keeps fans holding on to something. But without Jacobs, the Packers have had to depend on Emmanuel Wilson, a third-year running back from Fort Valley State. And he has been a pleasant story with a strong work ethic and surprising bursts of production, but he was never the core of the plan. He was never the centerpiece. He was never the player this offense was built around. That was supposed to be Marshawn Lloyd, and here lies the problem, because Lloyd is still nowhere to be found. Matt LaFleur made that clear again this week, explaining that Lloyd is not coming back for the upcoming game and likely will not be ready for the short turnaround before Thanksgiving, and he spoke with the tone of a coach trying to hold a fragile situation together, saying that normally they would open the return window early in the week to get the full benefit of practice. But that simply is not happening. And the more he speaks, the more distant Lloyd's return feels like something just out of reach, like a promise that keeps slipping further away. For fans, it has begun to feel like chasing rumor after rumor, trying to interpret each vague update, like players in a video game waiting for a release date that never arrives, like a long-delayed reveal. And Packers fans deserve clarity, they deserve honesty, and they deserve a backfield that can finally function without fear of breaking apart week after week. What makes it harder is the steady drip of hints that never materialize, each one raising hope only to let it fall back to the ground. And when running backs coach Ben Simmons refuses to give a timeline but talks about being fired up, it only deepens the confusion. What does fired up even mean when the player is still watching everything from the sideline, where it now feels like he might remain indefinitely? Aaron Jones, who played with Wilson in 2023, gave Wilson a strong endorsement this week, praising his hunger, his patience, his constant improvement, his ability to make the most out of every opportunity, whether it was a single carry or a handful. And it is clear that Wilson has earned his moment, especially with Jacobs at less than full health. But admiration does not change the truth that the Packers need Lloyd badly, and they need him back in the huddle, because this team was built to dominate, not to limp through uncertainty. And if they want to stay relevant, to keep their postseason hopes alive, to live up to the roster they have built, then Lloyd cannot remain a distant memory. He has to become part of the solution. Now it is up to the fans. What do you think about the situation in the Packers backfield? How do you feel about the absence of Lloyd and the rise of Wilson? Share your thoughts. Let us know your opinions. And if you want more deep immersive breakdowns like this, make sure to like the video and subscribe, because your support keeps the channel growing and helps us bring even more powerful stories your way.